It was December of 2020, and whilst the rest of the world was in the dark shadow cast by the newest generation of video game consoles, I was busy making sure I had registered interest in Limited Run's latest pre-order. And after what felt like an eternity, it finally arrived on, well, Christmas Eve of 2021. 12 months in waiting, 5 epic games, 1 massive box. It could only be the Monkey Island 30th Anniversary Anthology. As well as featuring all 5 games from the iconic series, this behemoth includes an abundance of extra goodies to make any Monkey Island fan happy. So, after such a long wait, what's included? And ultimately, was it worth it? Hello gamers, and this has got to be the second biggest video game box that I've ever seen. Alright, so upon opening the box, the first thing that we're greeted with is the Certificate of Authenticity. Oh, actually, I should call it the Certificate of Authenticity. Now, each one of these was signed by none other than the creator of Monkey Island himself, Ron Gilbert. Not to be confused with comedian Rod Gilbert, of course. But anyway, Ron even mentions on his blog that he had to sign about 7,000 of these certificates. This was back in last October or November time. And he even goes on to say that he wrote a little bit of a special message on the back of some of these. Sadly, mine isn't one of them. Instead, I got one with a blank back, numbered 3039 out of 7000, so for once I've actually got a certificate from the first half of one of these releases. Now, I'm surprised actually that 7,000 were made. I'm surprised so many were made. You know, considering the price of the anthology was around about 160 quid with delivery. Underneath that, we find a classic quad-disc jewel case with 4 DVDs inside, containing all of the 5 games. Now, opening the jewel case reveals that each side has got 2 discs in them, each of them with the box artwork printed on the tops. Now, initially when I first opened this, I found that the 3rd disc was loose, but, well, luckily there wasn't any room in there for it to move, so it was fine. Now, the next item in the box is a floppy disk labelled Secret of Monkey Island Disc 22. Now, I love this. This is a joke from the original Monkey Island, back when it was first released, but the joke has been removed from later releases. Because you see, originally when wandering around the hard-to-navigate woods on that first island, Guybrush might come across a tree stump that led to some catacombs. Now, when you interact with it, the game would jokingly ask for Disc 22. Well, why, you might ask? Well, it's jesting about the number of discs that the game originally came on. When it first released on IBM, I believe it spanned about 8 discs, which is just incredible for the time. Now, they took this joke out in later releases because, well, they'd switched it over to CD-ROM, so it didn't really make any sense anyway, and because LucasArts' support line was completely flooded with calls by people who, you know, they didn't get the joke. They thought they needed Disc 22 and they were missing it. And this is even something that's referenced near the end of LeChuck's Revenge.
Who thought up that dumb stump joke?
I'm tired of hearing about that damn stump. Do you have any idea how many calls I get a day about that? Don't ask me about it again.
Well, at least now the floppy now officially, or unofficially maybe, exists. Now, has anyone tried this on a computer, by the way? I mean, I got rid of all of my floppy drives ages ago, but this is a proper floppy with the disc in it and everything. It did arrive write enabled though, so if you're going to use this on a proper drive, just be careful not to write onto it. Beside the floppy in the box is a reproduction of the supposed Big Whoop treasure that's featured in Monkey Island 2, which, well, ended up simply being an amusement park ticket. When you examine the ticket in the game, Guybrush mentions that it has an E on it.
It says E on it.
And, well, it turns out it does. But the joke here is that it's in reference to Disney World's e-tickets that they used to offer as a daily pass to their best rides. Now, I suppose there is maybe a small sense of irony to this joke now, since Disney now owns LucasArts, who make the game, when they bought out Lucasfilm and its subsidiaries in 2012. And next up is the item which I'm going to be putting to use after I've finished with all this. It's a LucasArts USB stick with all 5 of the games installed on it. Now, doesn't it look remarkably similar to the one that I got with Star Wars Jedi Academy? It does, doesn't it? But, of course, it's gold instead of blue, so I guess there's very little chance of me getting them mixed up, I suppose. I'm going to be running these games on my PC later. Slotted down the inside of the back of the box are a series of mini posters for each of the games. Each one shows off the main box art for each title, and on the reverse side of most of them it shows a map of a certain area of that particular game. Well, except for the 4th one, which shows a Star Wars Episode 1 parody artwork. Now, perhaps not quite so hidden on the back there as well, is a thick, hardback book detailing the artwork and history of Monkey Island called The Monkey Island Chronicles. It features a whole bunch of information spanning across all of the 5 games. There are exclusive interviews with the staff, there's behind-the-scenes notes and sketches, and detailed explanations behind many of the decisions made in the games. I've had a quick scan through this and it all looks really fascinating. I think I'm going to need to dedicate an evening or two to get through it all. Now, also tucked down the back here are a couple of code wheels. These are the code wheels that originally came with the first 2 Monkey Island games. Dial-A-Pirate was for the first one and Mix and Mojo was for the second. Though these were part of an early form of copy protection for the first couple of games, at a time when game piracy was extremely rampant. When you ran the games on your computer, it would ask you to match the image on the screen with an image on the wheel that you had to rotate and match up, and then pick out the matching reference numbers. Now, because of these wheels, it led to many copies of the games being hacked and having the copy protection, well, ultimately removed. Now, the rest of the goodies are stored within this styrofoam box, sealed with tape.
Right then, better get the knife out.
The first item we pulled out here was the enamel pin set. This was a set of 3 pin badges with Guybrush, Elaine and LeChuck on them. There were many art styles from the Monkey Island titles that they could have gone with, but for these they used the one from Curse of Monkey Island, the 3rd game. The next item out of here is probably going to confuse quite a few people, but Monkey Island aficionados will instantly recognise this. This is the Ask Me About Loom button. Now, for those who don't know, it was worn by a pirate called Cobb located in the Scum Bar on Melee Island in the first game. Whenever Guybrush talked to him, asked him a question, he'd simply reply, "Aye," to everything you said. That is, until you ask him about Loom, at which point he just bursts into a full-on sales pitch about another one of LucasArts' graphic adventure games that was available at the time. It's a hilarious in-joke that stuck around all these years. I'd love to wear this badge to meets or conventions, but I'd have to memorise the whole spiel first because I just know someone is going to ask me about Loom. Next up is one of the creams of the Monkey Island Anthology crop, a 6-inch Guybrush resin statue. At first glance I noticed that this was very nicely detailed, although, I don't know, I think Guybrush looks unusually aged. He appears much younger in all the games. But he's instantly recognisable nonetheless. He stood here wearing his iconic long blue coat, holding a cutlass in one hand and a rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle in the other. Again, Monkey Island fans will instantly recognise this. It made an appearance in the first game, and then other Monkey Island titles made references to it in some form or another. The next up is a nod to one of my favourite Monkey Island characters, I'm not going to lie, and it's one of my most anticipated items from this whole anthology collection. It is a Murray skull candle holder. Now Murray is well, I'll just let him explain.
You may call me Murray. I am a powerful demonic force. I am the harbinger of your doom, and the forces of darkness will applaud me as I stride through the gates of hell, carrying your head on a pike.
You know, you'd look great with a melting candle on your forehead.
I get the feeling you're not taking me very seriously.
He first appeared in Curse of Monkey Island, the third game, but since then he's made cameo appearances in the rest of the series. Now, I just love his devotion to evilness, despite the fact that he's just a talking skull. Now this will be a drawing in my desk in the gaming room for the foreseeable, for sure.
Now leave me alone. I have a lot of scheming and evil plotting to do. Hey!
And here we are, we're at the last item in this plethora of Monkey Island goodies. It is a shadow box of one of the iconic scenes from Secret of Monkey Island, where Guybrush is thrown off the pier tied to the idol of many hands. Now this scene plays on the claim that Guybrush makes several times in the game that he can hold his breath underwater for about 10 minutes. Now if you stick around in this area for long enough, you're going to find that this is actually true. Now back to this shadow box. It is true that proper ones are made from a real wooden frame and panes of glass, whereas this is cardboard and plastic. But still, the level of detail included here is just breathtaking. The water and the fish are on the front level, with Guybrush and the idol in the next level, and the pier is in the background. It's very nicely presented. So much so that, I think I'm going to find somewhere in the gaming room to hang this up. So now that we've explored everything, was it worth picking up? One word: absolutely. I mean, sure, if I was only interested in the games, then I could have gotten all of them for a lot cheaper, probably on Steam. But all of these extras, I've loved every one of them, and it's been such a joy to explore them all. And I've got to say, all of it together has made this one of my best limited run pickups to date. And there is more on the way, so if you want to see how those turn out, feel free to subscribe down below. But what were your favourite items from this haul? Or maybe you think there's something that was left out that should have been included? Let everyone know down below in the comments. But with that, I'm going to sign off now, so thanks very much for watching. Leave a like if you liked the video, and I'll catch you all next time.